Red Ball 4 Mobile has always been an outlier in the Red Ball speedrunning community. Every other game in the series is played on Adobe Flash Player and ran on a PC instead of a mobile device. For this reason, even though it has received massive commercial success and hundreds of millions of downloads, it has largely been ignored by speedrunners. The concept of low percent runs is also largely ignored by most communities, and all we have pertaining to it in Red Ball 4 Mobile is a short thread in the speedrun.com forums about just the first world of the game. I thought it might be interesting to see what is possible in a full game low percent playthrough. Before we get into the run, we must first explain the rules. Unlike Flash, the mobile version of Red Ball 4 doesn't actually have a traditional score counter. Instead, it has a bar in the top right of the screen that increases upon grabbing stars or killing an enemy. To remain consistent with Flash, we will define grabbing a star as 100 points. This will mean that a standard enemy is 200 points and each world-exclusive enemy will be 400. Additionally, it is important to mention that recently there has been an update to the Android version of the game, changing its physics to the Unity engine. As it is by far the most popular version of the game, and I am an iOS user, I will be using the original physics for the duration of this run. So, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. In level 1, the first obstacle that comes in your way is this star over the box. There are a couple ways to get past this, and the one I chose is building enough speed throughout the beginning of the level to ram into the box and have it land on top of your head, so that you can move the box and jump up to the end of the level. Level 2 doesn't have anything particularly difficult, but I do want to call attention to something called coyote timing, which allows you to jump in a small window after falling off a ledge. Level 3 requires some precise platforming to avoid crushing the enemy with the boulder and to avoid these stars on the hill, but overall, it is quite straightforward. Level 4 doesn't have anything too challenging, but we do get to see another use of coyote timing, allowing you to scale your way up this ending wall. Level 5 is where we run into some real problems. The level starts with this huge hill covered in stars. The best we can do normally is collecting just one star with a couple precise jumps, but to avoid all of them, we will need to get a little more creative. This is where we will introduce a technique called double jumping, where when you press jump for exactly one frame and then press jump again frame perfectly exactly 12 frames later, Red Ball will do another jump in the air. This is caused by the fact that Red Ball stays on the ground for one frame after jumping and therefore resets the jump cooldown if you are not holding the jump button. With some precise jumps, we can use this technique to cross the large gap without collecting any stars. To avoid drowning this enemy, we must do a precise jump over the lake. You could use a double jump, but I prefer not to whenever possible. With large amounts of speed, you can climb up walls much larger than normal. We will use this to avoid crushing this enemy with the cart at the end of level 6. Levels 7 and 8 aren't too interesting, so I'll skip straight to level 9, which is one of the most difficult levels of the run. We start off by manipulating this rotating platform so that we can get just enough height to make it up without collecting a star. Next, we push this box along the edge of it, carefully going under the star so we can jump our way across the lake. Finally, we can knock down these wooden platforms to create a ramp that'll allow us to jump all the way to the end of the stage without collecting the star in the middle. Level 10 is back to being not so difficult, where we just need to go over the enemy and then jump our way across the lake, landing on the cog, and then carefully go up it while avoiding the 2 stars. Level 11 has another large hill, but with a couple precise jumps we can make our way over the star in the air. In level 12, we use a wall scale to avoid crushing these 2 enemies with the boulder, and then we make sure we have precise timing to avoid activating the ending enemy too early so that it falls in the water and drowns. Level 13 is exceedingly annoying. It requires a precise, luck-based jump to barely be able to get across the lake without having to kill the enemy. If you're doing this challenge, please just double jump over it. Level 14 isn't too complicated. Just climb the wall and then do a somewhat precise jump to get across the lake. Here we run into a real issue. Phase 2 of the boss contains multiple sets of enemies, and unlike the Flash version of the game, there's no way to skip this. Additionally, the boss itself rewards points upon death. Luckily, there exists a strange glitch in the game where if you restart a level after completing it before the next level loads, you can recomplete the same level and skip the next one. This has some stipulations that I will get into later, but for now it allows us to completely skip the boss and get into Volume 2. Real quick, if you're enjoying the video, please subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of future uploads. In level 16, you just need to do some precise jumps on the sides of these platforms, and then a coyote jump will get you under the final star. Level 17 has this section at the beginning with stars and platforms, but it's really not too difficult if you just build up momentum properly. At the beginning of level 18, there is this jump that I think may be possible glitchless, but I was not able to perform it due to how precise it is. Luckily, a simple double jump makes it easy. Due to the way the cycles line up, in level 19 you must use a double jump to avoid this top star. In level 20, you can't double jump off of these metal platforms, so we will be forced to get 1 star using normal methods. Luckily, level skip exists, so we just complete 19 a couple more times and move on to level 21. At the beginning of level 21, you can use a technique called a button jump to make your way up this tree, and then carefully maneuver your way across these trees to avoid killing either enemy. Level 22 requires a double jump to avoid the star at the end. Level 23 requires a double jump to avoid this set of stars, and then a button jump will get you over this tree to the end of the level. Level 24 starts with a couple jumps on the sides of these platforms. A button jump at low speed will avoid activating the button that activates the saw that kills all those enemies. And then some precise platforming to avoid drowning those enemies and collecting any stars. Level 25 isn't too interesting, so we will be skipping it. With a couple double jumps, you can avoid this huge set of stars across these 2 swings in level 26. In level 27, shoutouts to RBRT, you can use some incredibly precise platforming to avoid these 3 stars on the moving platforms. Levels 28 and 29 are not too interesting, but just like in V1, we will need to use level skip to avoid the boss. 31 isn't too interesting, so we'll start with 32, which requires you to do some precise jumps to get across this swing. And then a precise coyote jump will get you under these stars. In level 33, some precise platforming can get you across both of these swinging platforms without killing either enemy or any star. In level 34, you will need to use a double jump to get over all of these stars, and then make sure you go over this bomb in a way that doesn't activate it. In level 35, we use a couple jumps on this swing to avoid having to blow up the enemy. In level 36, we can abuse coyote timing to avoid all of the stars in this conveyor belt section. In level 37, you actually can double jump to get over this crusher section, but unfortunately there's no way to not activate the bomb. So, you know the drill, go back to level 36 and perform level skip. Level 38 isn't interesting, but level 39 has this section at the end that we cannot get past without activating the bomb. So, yet again, we go back to 38 and perform level skip. Level 40 has this section with stars on top of buttons that activate crushers. It requires very tight jumps to get through, and then make sure you finish the level before the bomb explodes. In level 41, quickly scale this wall before the enemy bomb can see you. Level 12 has a couple of issues. This second enemy here is completely unskippable. Along with that, even though we are able to get over the crusher section, there is no known way to finish the level before the bomb explodes. Now, you've seen level skip enough times to know what's going to happen next, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. But we're about to see where those stipulations come into play about level skip that I mentioned earlier. First, we're going to have to manipulate this enemy to be able to walk onto the button, but then we run into the set of platforms with stars and enemies on top, and the absolute best we can do is setting off just 1 bomb, and since we use level skip in level 42, we can't use it in level 43, so unfortunately we're going to have to add our first 400 points to the total. In level 44, we are not able to avoid the star on this platform, and we are not able to avoid the bomb exploding. Now, you would think we're out of options since we can't use level skip in 43, but there is actually one technique we have not used yet, where you can go over the left side of the screen and go completely beneath the level, including all death barriers. This isn't possible in every level, like, we wish we could do it in 42, but it is possible here, and this is actually the only place it is useful. Now, it does make the level skip into boss really difficult, but with a timing I use where I count to 4 after getting to the end of the level where the screen stops scrolling, I was able to do it quite quickly. Now we just do the glitch again and move our way into Volume 4. While I make my way up these platforms, I do want to mention that level skip is completely impossible in Volume 4 due to the unique level endings. Level 47 requires you to double jump over this star, and then unfortunately the star at the end is completely unavoidable, bringing our total to 500. In level 48, you need to double jump over these stars on top of lasers. And then it dashes all of your hopes and dreams by giving you a line of 6 unavoidable stars. Level 49 is back to being pointless, just take the ending slowly and jump to the end. Level 50 is a precise freefall, but it's really not too bad. In level 51, this laser enemy is unavoidable, and then you must double jump over this star, and then make your way down and collect at least 3 stars, bringing your total to 1,800. Level 52 simply uses the same skip as in normal speedruns. In level 53, with some tight and quite frankly terrifying jumps, you can barely make it through the holes between the stars and the laser. And then, yet again, sadly, these 2 laser enemies are completely unavoidable, adding another 800 points to our total. It is worth noting that after these 2 enemies die, part of Red Ball's mouth appears instead of a bronze medal, and the reason for that is, I don't fucking know. The best way I found to do the beginning of level 54 is to kill this enemy, adding 400 points, and use its platform to build momentum to jump into the green boost to get to the next section. Some precise double jumping will allow you to hit the kill switch on the lasers without getting any stars. Then you can simply jump your way under the star and ride up to the end of the level. Level 55 requires a precise jump to avoid these first 2 stars, then you collect the 3rd star, do another precise jump to avoid the next 2 stars, double jump to get up into the tunnel, which has 9 stars for some goddamn reason. Level 56 is another that just uses the normal speedrun skip. Level 57 is uninteresting, level 58 is another one that uses the normal speedrun skip, and then you do a double jump to get over this star. Just like in 54 and 59, a couple precise double jumps will get you the kill switch without collecting any stars. Now, since level skip doesn't exist, we're going to have to actually kill the boss, and I don't have a point value for that, so we're just going to call it 1,000 and move on. Now, level 61 starts off with 2 unavoidable stars, and then an unavoidable bomb, and then an unavoidable star in the exit hole. Yeah, V5's gonna suck. Now, at the beginning of level 62, we can do some very precise jumps to get over these 2 stars and actually beat the entire level pointless. Now, in V5, we have level skip again, and the way it works out is that we skip every level, so we do 62 twice, and then skip 63, 64 twice, skip 65, etc. And so I'm not going to go over any of those levels that we're skipping, because that's just redundant. In level 64, we do a double jump off of this cart to reach the green key, make our way down, collect 2 stars, have an enemy explode, collect a final star for 700 points. We multiply that by 2 because we do 64 twice in order to skip level 65, bringing our total to 7,000. In level 66, we have to collect the first star, then jump over the next 2, then jump over the cart, and then make our way down, collect the key, and go into the hole before the cart ruins our day, and then we do it again to avoid level 67. In level 68, first we blow up this enemy that is guarding the green key. Next, we jump over these 2 stars, collect the 3rd one, and then blow up this enemy. We go over these 2 stars and build up momentum so that we can double jump and collect the yellow key, make our way back down into the 3rd and final enemy, and then make our way to the end of the level for a total of 1,000 points times 2 to skip level 69, so 2,000 points. In level 70, you collect 3 stars to just barely make it to the end mere frames before the enemies explode, and then do it again times 2 for 600 total points. So I kind of forgot about this box when I was making this part of the video, so hopefully nothing else is messed up. We collect this star and then explode the enemy, and actually we will not be doing level skip here. In level 73, I first go up and activate the bomb guarding the yellow key, and then make my way down, slowly, carefully getting my way to the green key without losing all of my health. Go back and grab the yellow key, and the blue key is irrelevant. Level 74 begins with this precise drop down the elevator, and then we make our way back up the elevator, carefully avoiding both taking damage and collecting a star. The bullets line up quite nicely, so we can just go over them and under them. Then this first bomb explodes, we go under the bullet again, and the second bomb explodes, and then this level skip timing is actually incredibly precise. And then we just beat level 74 again, and that's the end of the game, for a total of 12,300 points. And that's the run. This is going to be a little unscripted outro. I would like to thank Duskless for allowing me to publish this on her new channel. I would like to thank NorXor for giving me the footage for that Unity clip at the intro of the video. If this run was going to improve, I think it would be this star in level 55, and also level 70. Maybe a star or two could be saved. I don't think so. Every star you skip in level 70 makes it way harder to reach the end without getting any, without the, bombs exploding. But overall, I'm quite happy with this. I definitely know how I could improve if I end up doing any more future videos. Please, if you have any suggestions for videos I should do in the future, leave them in the comments below. And I think that'll be it. Stay tuned for Duskless's video sometime in early September.